Okay, hi everybody, Mark Horner, Beyond 90 Seconds. Many of you tuning in live right now already know we've had, unfortunately, a plane crash. What definitely appears to be a fatal plane crash between Snohomish going east towards Monroe. And it's clearly, the smoke was clearly visible from Snohomish. In fact, I was out there uploading pictures and then some video a short while ago. I'm on Dutch Hill, and before I go to the pictures and the video, I want to just give you a live look at the view from Dutch Hill. Now, out there in the distance is Mount Rainier. But even though you're not seeing a plane crash in this live shot from on top of Dutch Hill looking south, it's real hazy out there. And two things struck me, and one of those things you may not be seeing or getting reports on from the helicopters, from the news stations that are flying overhead right now, and have been for the last several minutes. Just a second, sorry about the camera work there. And it's that the smell is striking, the smell of smoke. And we're north of the plane crash, overlooking the Snohomish Valley. There's Mount Rainier through the smoke. When I was down in the valley and I was west of the fire, a few miles west, you can see the plume rising and definitely not getting too high before it just bent and headed south. I'm north, yet I'm still smelling the smoke. Now, I want to go to some video first that I shot a bit earlier this morning. Perhaps some of you have already seen it on my Twitter feed. I shot mostly in 4K. I've edited this down to 720p for the purpose of this live stream, hoping that I can get a signal out that you guys can all see. But this was, if you're familiar with the old baseball fields and it's just, if you're traveling through downtown Snohomish towards Highway 2 going east, right before you get on Highway 2 itself, there are a couple of right-hand turns. The first right-hand turn takes you what's ultimately a dead-end road. But before that, on your left-hand side, there are some old baseball fields. That's where I shot this from, and I was able to get this. And this is just edited. I've got more footage than this, but of these specific moments. And then a bit earlier in the day, let's just kind of work our way from the beginning. That's a familiar landmark to many, and you can see the smoke in the distance. So actually behind me and when I'm taking this photograph is Harvey Field, right across the street. And one of the Harvey family members has that home that's on your left. That'll be a familiar landmark to people in Snohomish. And from that, so I'm basically at the bend in the road there as I'm about to bend and go towards the Snohomish River and past the Buzz Inn restaurant, for those of you who know the area. I did, from that very same vantage point, zoom in tighter on the smoke. And what we're seeing at this time is we're seeing a lot of dark smoke still, okay? A moment ago in the video that you saw, I was a bit closer, and you were seeing the white smoke. And it's my understanding that and you guys are probably more on top of this than I am because I'm out in the field, and I'm shooting and driving, but it's my understanding that the wreckage, that the crash also ignited a brush fire. So the white smoke, and I'm sure some of you can comment down below, is often associated with when there's water on the fire, and we ought to commonly see white smoke. I was a reporter for 20 odd years. That's what I seem to observe at moments like that. And then that's a still shot from the baseball field, and then this still shot, and then once again the video. So this is from the baseball field area. You can see the fence there, and now we're getting that white smoke. Prior to shooting at this location, I actually passed it up, but I went just a bit further east on 2nd Street to get onto Highway 2, and as soon as I took the right, I said, uh-oh, and I pulled over, because traffic down below there, if I was to merge onto Highway 2, it was all stopped. So I reached out to my friend Dayron, and he confirmed, Snohomish County Scanner on Twitter, that indeed Highway 2 was shut down due to this incident. Now I'm going to bring it back out live. We're on Dutch Hill. And I think just to kind of give you a contrast, you can see it's really hazy. Looking south, we have hazy conditions. And if I look every other direction, it's not hazy at all. So it's all from that fire, which was primarily, the smoke was pushing south again, though could definitely smell it up here on Dutch Hill. In fact, one thing I'll say is, I tweeted pretty early. I might have had the first tweet on this, I don't know, because I use an app called Pulse Point, which I use with some reservations because it has been, on some occasions, given me bogus reports. So I qualified the tweet when I shared that there was an unconfirmed report of a plane crash at Harvey Field is the way it came across first. And then I got another Pulse Point notification. Pulse Point from Dutch Hill Elementary School, which is just down the road up here on the hill. I imagine that's where the call came in from, was probably from that area. And then there was, right after that, another pulse point notification saying plane crash at Harvey Field. But I want to be clear, and many of you know this by now, the plane crash is not at Harvey Field. It's going east towards, and then perhaps I think it might even be into Monroe city limits, or Monroe proper. So I want to go back to this live camera shot though, and a couple ways we could do this. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of do a 180 here on the tripod, although we don't have a really good level. Let's zoom this out. And so you could just kind of contrast the conditions. And I hope it shows up. That is looking south. I'm going to go west now. That iPad on the stand is camera 2. It's very clear that way. And let's look to the north. You can see very clear skies. I'd show you to the east, but there are just tall trees next to me. You wouldn't see anything. So I do hope that this is connecting properly. I've only got 2 bars up here, and I'm trying to do a lower quality resolution for the stream. And I should be able to see if you have any comments. So before I go, let's check the comments. I'll connect to YouTube comments in case any of you are on live. And I see a good afternoon from Amy. And Snow Coast Scanner, FYI, does not look like, from the pictures from local news, that there was a brush fire. Okay, so there were unconfirmed reports that it may have started a brush fire, but really want to stress, because of feedback I'm getting in the live chat from Daron Johnson, who is Snow Coast Scanner, that once again does not look like, from the pictures from local news, that there was a brush fire. So that kind of makes sense. I mean, there is fuel on the ground, and it's been dry. We haven't had rain. It's been a very dry November. Heck, we've even had a wildfire out on the far reaches of northwest Washington in November of all times. So that's very uncommon. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to just wrap up here in a minute. I really don't know that I'm going to get any better vantage points than what you're already seeing from the local news coverage now. Admittedly, I got to jump on it. Helicopters are in the sky. I know there are some people posting short video clips, and even some pictures who even got closer than I did. Perhaps they live in that area already. But hopefully you found this coverage helpful. And, you know, just a parting thought, because I don't have any official information, but I'll tell you what else I'm hearing that's unconfirmed. That this was a up to 15-seater aircraft. That I'm hearing that there are 2 fatalities, perhaps 4. But all of this is, at this moment, unconfirmed. I really want to stress that. It's definitely unfortunate news, and my hearts and prayers definitely go out to them. I know that's not so popular to say for many people these days, but definitely my thoughts are with those folks and their families. It's right now, many of them are perhaps just now learning about it. So with that, thank you very much for checking out this live stream. Appreciate your time. If you like this type of content, usually I do a lot of nature and wildlife stuff, but I still do some breaking news and news coverage. So you kind of get a potpourri. If you like it, feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, everybody.